What is happening, fellow pioneers of human transportation? I'm Yogi Steve. You're watching ESA, the Electric Scooter Academy, Voromotors Podcast live stream number 55. Almost can't believe we've done so many of those. Thank you for joining me. I always like to let you know at the beginning, sponsored podcast just means I get paid for it. Thank you to Melvin, the owner of Voromotors, for having faith in my little small channel here. Every Wednesday and Sunday, we do the podcast, usually 4 p.m. Sometimes I'm a day late, but I always get it done twice a week, which is good because I've been a little negligent in doing Doordash live streams. I know the viewers like the live streams a lot, but it's been a little bit difficult for me to go out there and make long form content as well as Doordash live streams. But you're going to get very relatively unbiased information about scooters. You know, I am trying to get you to use my Voromotors links in the description. If you're looking for any type of electric scooter or electric bike even now, use the links in the description. I currently am spending a ton of time riding my InMotion RS. The InMotion RS 2.0 is now available, which has some crucial upgrades. The first generation model had some problems. I'll go grab my rolling machine. Hang on a second. First generation InMotion RS had some real kind of specific problems, mainly with the motor wire cable. It was overheating. It's this plug and play wire, which is very cool for tire changes. I think there's also some trouble with the app. So the InMotion RS 2.0 is now available from Voromotors, and that comes with an upgraded motor wire cable. I don't know if they're upgraded or if they're not using the plug and play wire anymore. I'm not 100% sure. But love the RS. Absolutely my favorite big scooter to ride. You guys know that I've ridden like every big scooter on the market. Put lots of miles on tons of big scooters, and I still love the RS by far. That scooter has 3,500 miles on it. I'll probably do another review on it pretty soon. But I think by watching my delivery videos, you get a really good idea of what these scooters can do. Also I'm spending even more time on my EMOVE Cruiser V2, the all-wheel drive version. I wish they should have called it both wheel drive. All-wheel drive, I never really liked that name, but it differentiates that scooter from the single motor EMOVE Cruiser for years. Since 2018, my first scooters were EMOVE Cruisers. Those were single motor scooters, and they're good scooters. You get a lot of bang for your buck. They're like $1,500. You can even get the first generation model. They still have those in stock. The one with the sine wave controller, the EMOVE Cruiser S, for like $1,100 or $1,200. They're pretty cheap. And I have bonus codes for the InMotion RS, ESAMIDNIGHT, $200 off. Bonus code for the EMOVE Cruiser V2 or the first gen Electric Scooter Academy, $50 off. And make sure you join my academies. My InMotion RS Academy, without me putting any work into it, I've barely been advertising it. It's about to reach 1,000 members. I think this is a very popular scooter. I think that Voromotors and InMotion have advertised this scooter a lot. So join the academy if you have questions about the scooter, if you want to brag about your scooter. And really more importantly, my academies are a place for the regular consumer to air problems. You know, scooters, they're almost like inherently problematic given enough time. And if you're having any trouble getting your warranty work done or anything, or you just need help from owners of the scooter, if you need a better avenue to contact Voromotors, Melvin, the owner, is often on my academy's content, commenting, helping people. So InMotion RS Academy Facebook, EMOVE Cruiser V2 Academy Facebook. That group is still pretty small, even though the EMOVE Cruiser is probably one of the biggest selling scooters in the world at this price point. And of course, I also have the EMOVE Roadrunner Academy. I haven't been riding my Roadrunner. I got my Roadrunner right here. I haven't been riding my Roadrunner a lot because I have the Pro and the V2. The Pro is really my preferred vehicle because it's faster with the battery extender. It's got more range with the range extender. But right now we're getting ready for Voromotors to soon enough release the EMOVE Roadrunner Pro 2. So that's going to be really cool. It's going to be upgraded. I think it's just going to be a better frame. It's going to have pedals because there's a lot of people that are in markets where the police are really cracking down on these scooters, so you need to have pedals on the scooter to make them legal. And not really a ton of scooter news. I will talk to you about the headline in this video in a moment about one of my local driver friends. You guys actually know this guy. This is Jim Hoodlum 420. Maybe he'll show up in the stream. And I will say hello to everybody coming in here. I really appreciate you guys dropping a comment. But my friend Jim, I'm gonna read an email that I got from him just today. It was absolutely shocking. But let me just get over any scooter business. So what's the name of the Project Daytona? Is it the Kuga? I think we're just calling it the Daytona. I've been watching, if anything, like the Electric Scooter Guide. They've been talking about it a little bit. Let me see if I can find this on my laptop here. But the Project Daytona looks like it's getting closer and closer to actually happening. That's going to be the very, very big 84 volt electric scooter coming out from Voro. It's going to be like, there's something wrong with my fucking thing here. I can't find it. But I think that's going to be called the Kuga. I'm not really sure, but it's the Daytona. It was called the Project Daytona. This is going to be the 84 volt. It's either going to be a 40 or 50 amp hour battery, like monster scooter coming out from Voromotors. And I thought for a while, because of the tariffs and all that stuff going on, that new product releases were going to take forever. But it does kind of look like that we're going to definitely have this scooter on the market relatively soon. And I guess the important news is, I don't have this straight from Melvin, but I did see that Electric Scooter Guide posted on their Facebook group that they're trying to, they're shooting for like a low $4,000 price point. If you've been following the stream, I kind of doubted the idea that they're going to get this scooter out there. I mean, one thing about like the EMOVE products, the other kind of house scooters that Voromotors sells, you always get like the most bang for your buck. Are they perfect scooters? No. But you get the most speed, the most range, most mileage out of these scooters. So the Project Daytona, the Daytona is going to be sick. It's going to be a 84 volt, 40 or 50 amp hour battery. My guess is they're going to have options. If I had to guess, if they're trying to have a unit available in the low $4,000 price point range, my guess is they might have options on the battery where you can buy 40 or 50 amp hours. For those of you guys who don't know a lot about scooters, the battery is kind of the biggest expense of any scooter. Let me just make sure my screen is still working here. Okay. You guys who don't know a lot about. So your signal here is good. I have my laptop on my wireless, which been having crazy trouble with. As long as the signal here is good. But so I'm real excited about that. I'll definitely get one of those, either to own or to borrow. And for me, like, bigger amp hour scooters are amazing. In addition to the Project Daytona, other things going on at Voromotors is the Tevrons are available. The Fighter Supreme and the Mini Pro. I think that's what they're called. So it's not that important. They're two different size models. The smaller model, the Mini Pro, is a 60 volt, 25 amp hour battery scooter. That's going to be like, it's like $2,300. I don't have bonus codes for this yet because I usually don't have codes for scooters that I don't ride. I usually don't promote scooters that I don't actually ride. But the Tevron Fighter Supreme with that 60 amp hour battery, I've been saying this every single stream. I'm extremely excited about that. Like, I really can't wait to have a scooter that I could do a full 7-8 hour shift. The most mileages I've ever got on a Doordash shift is like 40 miles, 42 miles maybe. But that's driving extremely slow. Like my EMOVE Cruiser V2, my all-wheel drive version, I've gotten a few times I've done over 40-mile shifts. But in order to get that mileage, you have to drive extremely slow, and that kind of sucks. So the Fighter Supreme coming out from Tevron that Voromotors has available. I'll answer all your questions, by the way. I always like to talk a little bit, and then I'll go back and say hello to everybody, okay? Juan, I see your question there. Stay on the stream. I'll get to you. So the Tevron Fighter Supreme is going to have this 60 amp hour battery. You know, for those of you guys who don't know, voltage generally indicates top speed and range. And voltage indicates top speed and acceleration. Amp hours generally indicates range. So when I got into scooters, 2019, my scooters were a 60 amp hour battery, and that seemed pretty big. Actually, my earlier scooters, I had my first cruisers were 52 amp hours. Then I got my first Dualtron, 60 amp hours. And then I started getting into later scooters, and then they had 72 volt scooters, not amp hours. 72 volt scooters seem to be like the common voltage on big scooters nowadays. But the amp hours on these were always like 30 to 40. I mean, I think the Cabo GTR had only like a low 30 amp hour battery. But for this Tevron to have a 60 amp hour battery, that means it's going to go crazy fast. Now, yes, the Daytona is going to also have a big 40 or 50 amp hour battery. But the thing is as your voltage goes up, your range per amp hour goes down because it uses more power for that top speed and acceleration. But regardless, Voromotors has a lot of exciting scooters in the works. I can't tell you too much. I can't say too much about these scooters until I get one. Melvin, the owner, definitely promised me a Tevron at least to borrow. I'm sure I'll get it for 2 or 3 weeks. And once I get that scooter, I'm going to bang out. You know, it's funny, I'm not in competition with the other channels. And I think Electric Scooter Guide has already gotten their Tevron. They're like one of the biggest YouTubers, right? And they'll get a lot of views on their video, but I'll get more because I'll do 15 videos and get 2,000 views per, hopefully. So I'm excited to have the Tevron Fighter Supreme in my fleet. We're gonna test the shit out of that by driving it. What makes my channel unique, sorry if you hear me say this over and over again, but I only work for Voromotors, so I don't go through a large variety of scooters. The scooters that I get from Voro, I use for deliveries exclusively. And I feel like that way it gives the consumer a really good idea of what they're getting. I try to be super honest. Anytime I've had a breakdown or a problem, I talk about it in the video or on the stream. You should watch my InMotion RS review. I think I reviewed it at like 3,000 miles. We're at like 3,600 miles now. Scooter did have some problems. I did talk about it. I've talked about all the problems and all the pluses and minuses for all my scooters, but I drive a lot. You know, I drive probably 700-800 miles a month on these scooters. So check out my review on the InMotion RS. Oh, my dog's going crazy. She hears a motorcycle. But I'm excited to have these new scooters coming out from Voro. It doesn't seem like there's really much in the scooter world coming out right now, like big scooters. So the Tevron's not new, but it's new at Voro, and it'll be new to me. I'm excited about that. But the Daytona is definitely like a brand new scooter. There's really very few 84 volt scooters on the market. I think if you want an 84 volt scooter, you have to look at something like the Dualtron X, which is like $7+ grand. Plus they charge for shipping on that. It's like $7,500 plus tax, $8 grand plus. So to get this Daytona in the low 4,000, even if it's $5 grand, it's going to be a good deal, I feel. So I'm very excited to get that Daytona in my fleet. So Melvin, get that thing on the road. I'm excited about it. Cool, Kelly. Yes, I'll answer your question. I'm worried about your setup, though. I have a bad feeling this is a troll. But all right, let me say hello to everybody. Okay, so let me say hello to everybody. Electric Rider, good to see you. Always #1 in the chat. I really appreciate you. Big Boys PEV, also super regular. Good to see you. John, I've spoken to you a couple times. How are you? I knew this was going to be a funny question. Cool, Kelly. I'll try to answer it though. Electric Rider says, nice, my journal channel is over 1,000 subs. Yeah, so make sure if you're new, if you don't know, I have another channel called Yogi Steve Journal. I keep saying I'm going to change the name of the channel, but now I kind of like it because as a journal, it just leaves it open. And I do kind of post, I have a lot of old delivery videos because the way I do my business is, my YouTube business is, I'm always ahead on delivery videos. It's God forbid, if I want to take like a month off, I still want to be able to post like 3 delivery videos a week at least. So I probably have like at least 15 delivery videos right now, but a lot of them are old. I've been posting videos from like September of 24, January of this year. I generally try to post those on my journal channel. So subscribe to Yogi Steve Journal. I did pass the numbers for monetization. I still haven't filled out all the forms yet. So I did pass the, I do appreciate you guys getting me to 1,000 subs on there. I needed 4,000 watch hours. I got that a while ago. But if you're interested in my life, which I think is pretty interesting because I'm a transplant from, New York and New Jersey. I've lived out here in Hollywood since I'm 25. I'm 55 now, so I guess it's been 30 years. And I absolutely love it here. So check out the journal channel. I got some cool videos of me doing a vacation in Joshua Tree, and other things. So I'm going to answer your questions. I see you're throwing them out there. Stony420, how are you? I like that name. Very cool. James, my friend Mysterio71, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. Electric Rider says it's hard to find shops to work on scooters. Very true. Stony420, I'm doing good. I'm going to talk about my personal stuff. I have a very fun day today going on. I'm going to a concert tonight. That's why I'm rolling all these funny cigarettes for the concert tonight. Jeff Beecraft, how you doing? Says, do you have any scooters you can bring your 70-pound dog on? You'd have to like set something up. I think that would be very cool. I love videos of like dogs on motorcycles and shit like that. I love that stuff. A 70-pound dog is pretty big, but you could probably like put a wagon on or something like that. I've seen people do all types of stuff. I mean, scooters, bikes, they're made for modification. So yeah, go for it, Jeff Beecraft. It's good to see you. I know you're a regular. So I feel like this is a troll type question, but I'm going to answer it anyhow from Cool Kelly. Is there a conscious devotion of accepting reality for its established meaning? Or does all merely fall in accordance accordance to conceived predominant factors that have come to be reconciled with. The phrasing on that's a little tricky, but I kind of get what you're saying. Maybe it's like a little bit of a matrix type question. I'm a yoga teacher, right? I should know about, I've thought about reality a lot. I think that some reality is just fixed. Like certain things in life are like fixed, and certain things are flexible. And the way you look at things is going to be based on mostly the way you were raised, the way your parents treated you, and your genetics, and where you're from, where you live. So I don't think that reality needs to be accepted as any sort of a fixed thing. So the way you phrased it, it's a little tricky, so I don't really know. So I want to try to answer it my best. I know you're trolling me. Isma Blue. Hey, Ismail, of course, I remember you. You were like a kid when I met you. Now you're like an adult, right? I met you a couple of years ago. What's up, Yogi? It's Ismail. How have you been? Will you be going to the Suron Mega Ride? No, I don't have a Suron. When is the Suron Mega Ride? Who's doing that? Is that Suronster's ride? Oh, you're 18? That's awesome, Ismail. Just my neighbor across the hall is named Ismail as well. I hope you're doing good, man. It was always a pleasure meeting you. If you guys don't know the story about Ismail, I met him a couple of years ago when he was like a minor, kind of. And he wanted, I don't remember which scooter of mine he bought. He bought one of my scooters. Oftentimes I sell the scooters that I get. Probably, I don't think it was a Voromotors scooter. I don't remember, but it was a scooter that I didn't need. What scooter did I sell to you, Ismail? But it's June 29th. Oh, you finally got a Suron, kind of, which means you got like one of the many variants. That's fucking cool, man. What did I sell you, Ismail? What did I sell you? I remember I had to call this kid's mother. I was like, you're a minor, aren't you? Like, let me talk to your mom. So, but a good kid. It was a Chinese scooter. I don't even remember what it was. They're all Chinese. But I don't remember what it was. So, but yeah, Ismail, good to see you, buddy. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you got a scooter that you like. And Mutant Maniac, how you doing? Good to see you. Oligio, is that how you pronounce that? Oligio Races, did you make money on Bitcoin? Man, I made money on Bitcoin, but I was margin trading. You guys know what margin trading is? It's basically like the closest thing you can get to cold gambling with as an investor. So during COVID 2022, I saved up some money. I had like 20 grand saved up. And during 9 months of margin trading, I turned 20 grand into 100 grand. I thought I was going to be a millionaire. I never took profits. I left everything in. So if you know anything about margin trading, like that's the easiest way to lose money. And then when Bitcoin crashed, because I was stupid, I didn't pull out fast enough, from 100 grand down to like 12 grand. So I lost it all, basically. So I do believe in crypto. I think crypto is cool. I don't really think it's got a real life case use yet. Like that's what they're always saying about crypto is, does it have a real life use? And I think that really right now, Bitcoin is used mostly for just illegal activities and for trading. I think that crypto is just a great, it's violent, it's volatile, but I think that like a volatile asset is very good for trading, margin trading or just straight up, what's it called when you buy it? A spot trading. So crypto I think is awesome. I like the idea. It's like a new form of currency. It is still fiat currency, right? Because we only say it's got value because we buy it. That's what gives it value. The consumers say it's got value. So I do believe in crypto. I do think that very easily we could see Bitcoin at $1 million a coin at one point in the future. I mean, it's unbelievable where it's at now because, I mean, it was terrifying when I made all this money and then lost it to see Bitcoin drop to like 15K when we were at 69K at one point, didn't really hit 70. And then somehow it came back in the last few years, right? But what's interesting to me is with crypto, I don't want to go too crazy with crypto, is it's obvious to me that a small amount of buyers have driven the price up to over 100K because traditionally when Bitcoin goes up, all the other coins go up as well. And there seems to be like a pretty severe decoupling from Bitcoin and all the other coins, So like Ethereum hasn't typically for years. During the last cycle when I was trading, Ethereum and Cardano and all the big ones, they would move with Bitcoin up or down. But now it's like a lot of the big coins, the top 10 are stuck. They haven't moved with Bitcoin. So that indicates to me the only reason why Bitcoin is very high is because a small amount of buyers bought a lot of it. And they're probably doing this to make money margin trading or spot trading, because when you have knowledge that the prices are going to go up, if you know you're going to buy a lot, you can spot trade or margin trade, which you can't even really do in the US anymore, which is fucking sucks. It's probably good for me because like I'm not a compulsive gambler, but I was definitely I definitely a gambler, being a poker player for a living, and I have a degenerate side for sure. So it's probably better that I can't margin trade anymore. Margin trading was crazy. I remember when I had like 100,000 in the market, I had like 400,000 on margin. That means if like Bitcoin goes up $1, it would go up $4 for me. It was crazy. So, you know, I kind of got over that. You know, like it was definitely depressing. Richard Kidd, how you doing? What happened to the vaping of your green? I left the vape at my girlfriend's. That's all. That's going to come back. And I ordered another vape. I ordered like another like $160 handheld electric vape. So I started vaping on that Dynavap B, and that's like the type of vape where you hold it up like this and you heat it up. You know, you heat it up and it vapes. I liked it a lot, but I left it at my girlfriend's, so I have to get that back. Das Juro, the Carolinian hamster VTuber. How you doing, man? Always in the stream, always commenting. I really appreciate it. Check it out, guys. We got 3 cigarettes rolled. Because tonight I'm going to the Roots concert with my girlfriend at the Bowl. Very excited about this. We've been planning this forever. There's going to be a lot of different acts there. I'm really mostly excited about seeing Method Man and Redman. That's going to be fucking awesome. And I'm real excited. I live right around the corner from the Bowl, so we're fucking walking. Don't break into my place while I'm gone. I got a pit bull in here. She will fuck you up. She's old, but she still is a killer. My pit bull actually bit my little dog this morning. My girlfriend and I always train every Sunday together. And I got my dog like a new plushie toy, and my pit bull is insane. And like my little guy was trying to get her toy from her. She thought he was, and he fucking bit her, little fucking bitch. So, but I love my dogs, but my pit bull is really insane. I only recommend getting a pit bull if you know what you're doing. Mutant Maniac says, good, thanks. Keep up the awesome videos. Thank you very much, Mutant Maniac. I appreciate it. I'm addicted to being a YouTuber. I'm still chasing success. What could I tell you? So I'll always make videos. Like I can't see myself stopping. I really like doing it. I just posted actually a whole bunch of shorts, and I'm posting shorts basically on the recommendation of my friend Andrew, who runs Freshly Charged. He's like one of the few YouTubers that I know in person. And when I had my accident like 2.5 years ago, he would call me. It's amazing, like nowadays, people will text you or message you, and IM you, DM you. But Andrew called me, you know, after my accident to check on me many times. And throughout the last couple of years, Andrew from Freshly Charged just calls me just to check in. I mean, it's fucking amazing. He's a busy guy. He had a kid that last year, I think. And, you know, I consider Andrew a mentor, which most people don't have. I feel like that's like the failing of our culture, is most people don't have mentors. I feel like I've always had like good martial arts and yoga instructors. So I've always had kind of mentors, teachers. But Andrew tells me, like, you got to make shorts. And the reason for making shorts is basically so it'll boost your subscriber count. And I told him, or I'll tell anybody, I don't like increasing my subscriber count without increasing my long form content views. Because I've noticed that, like, you could post a lot of shorts, your subscriber count could go up, but your long form views will stay the same. I don't like that. But Andrew made it clear, like, if you're negotiating with like distributors, which I don't really have to do right now, I work just with Voro, but maybe in the future I will have to. The more subscribers you have, the better. And I'm very happy to have 22,000 subs, but if I don't post shorts, YouTube basically gives me like 100 subscribers a month. It's a very, very slow growth. But if I post shorts, boom, I get tons of subscribers. So I posted a bunch last week, and those get between like usually at least a couple thousand views each very quickly. But one of them got 20,000 views. It's really unfortunate that shorts don't pay shit. But somebody who's inspiring, who I'm talking to in my comments today, is Scooter Gang. You guys watch Scooter Gang, SCOOTA Gang? He initially was just on TikTok and has a very, very big successful account on there. But those are effectively shorts. But then he went on to YouTube, started posting long form, and he used shorts to build his channel. He's got a lot of subs, and now his long form is doing pretty good. He gets way more views than I do. But so I'm trying to post more shorts, and it seems like the algorithm likes my delivery shorts. You know, I post them, they can get views. So I posted a lot of shorts this week. Point being is I love making videos, so I appreciate it. Mutant, I will always be making videos. Silent but electric, good to see you. Uh-oh, He's denying his name. He says, Yogi, I almost bought a gas-powered scooter yesterday. I know those are the ultimate delivery machines. Yeah, that's what if I had to do this, like, if I needed money from deliveries more than I do, and believe me, I need money, I would do deliveries on a gas-powered scooter. I would follow, like, another one of my mentors, Wilser. You know, William Cervantes, his YouTube channel is Wilser. He's also an unbelievable content creator. He makes great shorts, too. He has unbelievable TikTok, and his shorts on YouTube always go viral. I mean, he's down there in the riots. Let me say hello to everybody, and because I need to read this message from Jim that I put in the thumbnail, because, you know, I'm always clickbaiting, but not today. What's up, Eddie? At the LA Courier. Make sure you guys follow the LA Courier, L.A. Courier. He does the intro for my videos when I'm on my EMOVE Cruiser. We're going to make an InMotion RS video together, intro together eventually. And we're also going to work on something. Eddie, I'm waiting for you to tell me. I saw him the other day. I was like, give me 48 hours and I'll be available for you. Like, I'm excited to do any project with you, Eddie. Eddie's a really good driver, makes really good YouTube videos, very good editor. It's good to see you, Eddie. Kevin says, who wants a mustache ride? Yeah, the mustache is insane right now. I'm actually cultivating kind of like a clean look, because in addition to going to this concert with my girlfriend tonight, she's also graduating from some medical program. My girlfriend's an MD, like a super genius MD. I don't ever say what she does, but she's a specialist. She's not a GP. But she's graduating from some program that she was doing, like, I guess the last year, that she was doing just to further educate herself and make herself better at her field. But we're going to like a formal graduation on Tuesday. And we got a suit. I mean, what can I tell you? I don't want to lie. My girlfriend bought me a fucking suit. I mean, my girlfriend bought me a fat fucking Hugo Boss suit. You'll see pictures of it eventually. Actually, I'll make a video for the Yogi Steve Journal channel. Wait till you guys see me in my suit. You've never seen me in anything but t-shirts and cargo shorts and maybe jeans. But I have a very fucking high-end Hugo Boss suit that I'm really, like, I'm not into, like, fashion. I'm not bougie. You know, I don't really necessarily like or need expensive shit, but God bless my girlfriend, you know. Like, this fucking suit is nice. I got a cool hat, cool pocket square thingamabob. This is a nice three-piece suit from Hugo Boss. We went to the Citadel outlet to buy it. It was expensive as fuck, even though it was 40% off, so thank you, baby. I'm looking forward to the concert tonight. Mutant Maniac says, so someone's been watching Super Troopers too much. Is that the mustache? Is that a mustache comment? What's up, Slack? Good to see you, friend. Always in there. Electric Rider says, I haven't hit my vape in about a week. Yeah, I like my vape a lot. I mean, you know, not like this type of vape, but like vaping flower. So anyhow, about the mustache and everything, I'm cultivating like a goatee mustache look, real clean look for this formal. You just been smoking straight green, Electric Rider, I hear you. Das Juro, the Carolinian and hamster VTuber says, I used to have a pet hamster and beta fish, Yogi Steve. That would be a troll if it wasn't from Das Juro. He's always telling me about his life. That's pretty cool. I had an Oscar. You know what an Oscar is as a kid? Used to feed that thing goldfish. It was awesome. Electric Rider says, I have a pond with 4 fishies. Very cool. Aubrey Bush, how you doing? Good to see you, Aubrey. Never missing a stream. Also another long-term follower of the channel. Good to see. Hope you're good, Aubrey. Frontier 884, another regular. How you doing, man? Says, you look like a bald 007. LOL. That's funny. Yeah, is that what I look like? I mean, I don't know. I like having a mustache. Like, I feel like, and this is kind of a mustache goatee. I was just doing a mustache, but my girlfriend told me, I really like your goatee. But I'd already grown like most of a mustache, so I'm kind of filling in. That's like a thicker mustache, bottom goatee look. But I like it. Mr. Spooglespore, how you doing? Says you're having fucking camera issues today. Oh, you mean like hearing me or like while you're shooting? I hope that, let me see, is this clear?
Here's the battery.
Yeah, I think this look, but I like it. Yeah, this should be good. My end should be good because I'm not just on my 5G. Juan Ochoa, sorry it took a long time to get to this. What can I do to make a V2 Roadrunner faster? You can increase the motors, you can increase the batteries, you can change the controller, which I don't really know how to do, but go to EMOVE Roadrunner Academy on Facebook, join that group, or just be an observer, whatever. But if you want to ask questions, I guess you got to join it. And people on there will help you, and they'll be nice to you. They'll treat you kindly as a beginner. So go to EMOVE Roadrunner Academy on Facebook if you want to make your V2 faster. And I love my V2. It still goes like 35 miles an hour. It doesn't have crazy acceleration, but I've had very, very good luck with my V2. So if you want to make it faster, it's doable, but you got to know what you're doing. Richard Kidd says, pocket square thingy. Oh, you made a laugh at that? Yeah, I don't know what the pocket square is. It's called a pocket square, right? I don't know. It's either a tie or a pocket square I was going to wear. I don't know. Mr. Spoogel Sports is looking forward to seeing you in a suit. That'll be a big surprise. Yeah. Kenneth Ross says you can upgrade the controller. Talking to Juan. Juan is saying, who can make it faster? I don't know how to better answer you, buddy. You can make it faster, but you have to modify it. You can put in a bigger battery, bigger motor, bigger controller, better brakes, better tires. But go to eMove Roadrunner Academy on Facebook, post that question there, and go from there. But it's going to require like knowledge of electronics, for sure. Right. So, because I'm the king of clickbait, I don't want to be clickbaiting the podcast. I feel like there's just a lot of truth in here. So Jim Hoodlum 420, you guys might recognize that name. You might recognize that name from the stream. He's usually often in here. Yeah, Juan, you got it. You can do it. Let me know. Post your scooter there. Jim Hoodlum 420, a local friend, lives basically down the street, and he sent me a message today. I'm just going to read it to you. It's kind of shocking. From Jim Hoodlum. I was shot at last night as I was finishing deliveries because Trump invoked an insurrection act and federalized the National Guard of California. He said we are at war. I had 2 rubber bullets whiz past me super close. I also got tear gas because it was everywhere like a fog. I hauled ass home. That was scary as fuck. I almost pulled out my burner, which is, I think, his like he's got like a knuckle, got like a brass knuckle thing with electronics on it. Is that what a burner is? This is bullshit, and talk about being at the wrong place, the wrong time. Be careful out there, dude. So that's pretty scary. What's up, Talib? Talib, how you doing, man? Talib Danger. So, Jim, you know that's terrible, man. Like, I don't know where you were though. I haven't written you back. I'm very. If you guys email me, I almost never write you back. I'm not really into like bullshitting via email, and I'll see Jim like on delivery shift eventually, and I'll ask him in person. Sorry to hear that. I'm glad you're okay. I know you've had a lot of shit happen to you as a driver. But also, where were you? Because I thought that, like, so you guys know that the National Guard is here, basically, in Los Angeles. But from my understanding, they're downtown. Like, they're not in Hollywood. Hollywood and downtown are basically very far from each other. I've actually been watching Johnny Hicks. He's got great coverage of what's going on down there. And, you know, it's like, I'm not political. I rarely make a political comment, but I got a lot of Mexican friends here. I hope no one of my friends get deported or shot at or whatever. But I think there probably was a better way to do this. I think that we do need to do something about rampant illegal immigration here, but not, you know, not the way they're doing it. But I don't have an answer, so that's why if I'm not like super knowledgeable about a subject, my opinion is not very strong. What are you saying, electric rider, not a burner CL? Let me look, what is that? What is that? Let me look that shit up. We gotta light one of these cigarettes. Oh, does he have one of these? Do you have one? I thought he said he was buying one of these. I don't think he got one yet. Oh yeah, it's like an air pistol. The burner is like an air pistol. Right, the burner is an air pistol, right? Yeah, it's like a CO2 cartridge gun. It's a pepper ball gun. There you go. Interesting. Thank you, electric rider. Don Scott, how you doing, buddy? Hope your storm's doing good. He says Wilshire's been showing some of the stuff. The grenade pin has been tugged on. Yeah, it's scary, you know. I feel like I'm not like a dove. You know, the difference between like a hawk and a dove, like politically or in relation to war. I'm a little in between, but I lean towards being like a hawk, I guess. But not against your own citizens, you know? So it's unfortunate, but like anything else, it'll pass. You know, like I did deliveries when the National Guard was in Hollywood. I worked, for you guys who don't know, I worked straight through COVID. I never took a day off. I mean, I worked 5 days a week through COVID, worked as an essential worker. People still needed food delivered. And that was a good time to be working because, man, we were making a way better rate. A lot of people talk about how, you know, food delivery or rideshare doesn't pay as much as it used to, but that's because they're comparing it to during COVID. And that was just a very, very prime fucking time to be a driver. So I worked through COVID. I worked when there was like a riot on Melrose where they basically blew up a gas station. I remember I was working and I started getting phone calls from all my friends in New Jersey and New York, all over the country really, or local even. They're like, are you okay? I'm like, what do you mean am I okay? They're like, I heard they burnt down a gas station on La Cienega and Melrose. And I was literally like 5 blocks east of Melrose on Beverly, no, on Melrose. I was very close to this gas station that was basically blown up. So I've worked through riots. I have some really cool videos of working through the protests, the protest slash riots. So I've been out there when it's crazy out here. And listen, like, I've just been very lucky, knock on wood, like nothing's ever happened to me. And I feel like, I'm not like a military guy, but I feel like I can stay calm under duress. So when all this shit was happening, I was like, I got a food delivery. I got to deliver this food. So I'm really happy to have like these amazing, that's why I started YouTube. So before I ever thought I'd make a nickel doing YouTube, and I don't really make a lot of money at it, but before I ever made a nickel, I thought it would be cool to like make videos. So that way when I'm older, I can look back. I didn't think I would look back just a few years and be like, holy shit, that was very different. Like, it was crazy, like doing deliveries through protests, amazing. Jambi says, hello, how you doing, Jambi? You like the hiking videos? I appreciate it. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, I'm going to be putting more videos out on Yogi Steve Journal because now that I'm monetized, I still haven't filled out the forms, but it's basically monetized. I'm going to start popping out videos on there like crazy, just trying to hit a viral topic. Another thing that I'm thinking about doing, hey, what's up, Chexologist? How you doing? 2 people from a live stream I see today are from Portland. What an amazing coincidence considering I'm playing an RPG game taking place in a post-apocalyptic Portland. It's good to see you, Chexologist. I hope you're doing. Randall Gauss, old school, another long-term follower. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, buddy. So, what else is going on? Well, tonight, I read the Jim Hoodlum email. I wanted to make sure I got that out. Tonight I'm going to this concert that we've been planning for a while. It's going to be great. And I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to bring our own food. Let me show you something really quick, okay? I made food for my girlfriend and I. Like, I'm not a great cook, but there's a couple things I can do. I can make a steak, and I can make wings. Check these wings out. Boom, look at this. Look at that, wings. These are citrus garlic, and these are lemon pepper. These are fucking delicious. I'm going to heat them up right before we go. I also got myself Pringles. Because it's like picnic style. And I got these gummy bears, like from yesterday. Like I picked these up to eat like a couple days ago. You ever like go to, it wasn't a Walmart, what was it? Marshall's. Marshall's has way too ridiculously delicious selection of junk food. And, every day I'm trying to go on a diet. But I see this packaging, I'm like a little fucking kid. All right, guys, it's time to light the smoke machines. Let me dump out my ashtray here. Let's light the smoke machines together, please, if you're smoking. If not, don't worry, we don't do this for too long. Let's listen to some music real briefly, and we will smoke something, because I haven't smoked anything all day. I think some of you guys might know from the journal, I've been struggling with tinnitus. My overall health is pretty good, but I somehow have, like, my ears are just ringing. Mr. Spooglesport, you're always cursing. I always have to push your messages through. You're allowed to curse, just so you guys know, as long as you're not trolling. All right, let's pick a song here. Let's get a fucking song here. I won't give you anything too bad. I got like my own taste. Everybody's got different. Oh, here, this is a good one. Name the song. Got it, Jambi. To learn how to love and forget all the hate. vibe, by the way. Yeah, again, Chexologist, good to see you. Wow. But I actually run out of shit to say. I usually don't plan these streams at all. I'm usually just on here bullshitting. But I guess it's already been like a pretty busy day. I had, every Sunday I train Sensei Moyer. He's like my 70-plus-year-old yoga student. He's a guy that was always into martial arts his whole life. Never did like any movement training, flexibility training. He says he wished he would have started when he was younger, but train him every Wednesday and Sunday. Oh, here's what I want to talk about actually. Let's get this out there now. So you guys have heard me say before that I need to find another way to make a living, to make money. And, you know, it's not easy to like rebuild yourself at 55 or change your career. And the thing about me and money is I always like, there's a line in Seinfeld about Kramer, and Kramer is talking about a fantasy, he's going to a baseball fantasy camp. And Jerry says to him, you're going to a fantasy camp, your life is a fantasy camp. You know, you have sex without dating, then something else, and the last thing he says is, and you fall ass backwards into money. And I always felt like that's like my life. Like I don't plan well with money, but I managed to like fall ass backwards into it. Like believe me, I didn't know I was going to become a professional poker player when I fell into that. When I made all this money trading Bitcoin, I didn't know that was going to happen. And when I became like, a YouTuber that makes some money, that was a complete surprise to me. You guys know the story a couple years ago, almost 3 years ago. Melvin, owner of Voromotors, out of nowhere, is like, we got to get you a new Dualtron. Your Ultra is too old. They put me in a brand new Storm. To me, that was like a $5,000 gift. And ever since then, I made pretty good money working with Voromotors. They pay for this podcast. I make money when I sell a scooter. So point being is like for changing, like I can't just be a driver forever. It's really dangerous. You guys know that like 2.5 years ago in October, I got knocked out and broke my collarbone, basically almost died, right? Fully recovered except for the fact I didn't have the surgery on my collarbone, so it doesn't hurt, but I feel like as an athlete, I'm like forever changed. Like as an athlete, it just means like weightlifting. Like I can't really lift like as hard as I used to. I'm just worried about fucking this up. But a point being is being a driver is like dangerous, right? So I need another way to, I got to talk about Electrify Expo as well. If you want to go to Electrify Expo, I got free tickets. Email me, yogadoo9@gmail.com. I'll try to put it in the video. You can find it in my other videos, yogadoo9@gmail.com, June 22nd. I'm going. My girlfriend's taking me. I already talked to her. So you guys know I don't own a car. I've gone to like faraway things by renting a car. I went to Rider Fest in October 23 with my buddy Ryan. We took a car out there. Was that? Yeah, that was a year after my accident, I guess. So, but Electrify Expo is in San Pedro. It's like an hour from here. I'm definitely going. I definitely have free general admission tickets for anybody who needs. I'm not sure how it's going to work getting them to you. It's still early in the month, right? It's only like the 8th. This is June 22nd. It's in San Pedro. So if you want tickets to that, email me, yogadude9@gmail.com. I'll put you on my list, which will be a list that I'll respond to once Melvin tells me how I'm going to get you these tickets. Maybe I'll leave them for you. Maybe they'll have like a will call, like at a theater, or maybe I can just email it to you, or I don't know, maybe there'll be a list. But I'm excited to go to that, man. These events are crazy. Like, all of us in the electric scooter world, we live in like a very small world where like we only know our scooter and our friends' scooters, you know? But that sounds like a good idea, man. Rucking with 20-pound weighted pack, that sounds pretty good. I've been hiking more recently. I'd like to get to rucking as well with the weight, but right now I'm just trying to get my fat ass hiking more. So Electrify Expo, June 22nd. If you want tickets, yogadude9, YOGADUD, the number 9 at Gmail. Yogadude, YOGADUDE, the number 9 at Gmail. I think only one person, Mr. Spooglesport, maybe. I don't remember who has taken me up on that. And I'm also trying to get my friend Black Bigelow to go. You don't know who that is. It sounds like a crazy racist name, but it's the name he gives himself. He's an unbelievable YouTuber. His main channel is called Black Bigelow, but he's got like a 600,000 subscriber channel where he tells like murder stories that have happened. Like, he's really done something amazing with his business. I actually consider him a mentor as well. But okay, so changing my career. I need a new business, right? I'll do this as long as I can. Obviously, I'll probably always do YouTube. I always like making videos, whether I make money or not. But like, what else can I do for a living? And I could like, which I probably still will. It'll be a part of my plan. Like, bring my yoga class back to Runyon Canyon. Background story: I taught yoga at this park for like 25 years. It was a free / donation class. Make some money off the class, but more importantly, I cultivated a very large roster of private training clients from there for fitness and yoga, weight loss, fitness, yoga, strength training, whatever. So I want to go back into that a little bit. But if I was to start a new career, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I think and this sounds actually, let me just be honest, like talking here about it. To me, this is like a little cringy, because I always thought that being like a life coach or hiring a life coach was ridiculous, because I'm such a self-taught person. I mean, I do believe in mentors, but the idea of being a life coach has been around forever, and I always thought that like, oh, that's pathetic. Who needs a life coach? Like, why do you hire a life coach? But my whole life, all I'm basically doing, that I'm enjoying doing for years and years, is teaching. To me, the videos are like a teaching format. I've been martial arts teacher, yoga instructor. To me, like the YouTube is about that I'm teaching something. The stream is about I'm teaching something. So why not? Hey, shut up! I'm being serious. Hey, shut up! So I'm gonna look into what it takes to become a life coach. Now, my business sense tells me what it takes is having a following and recruiting from your following more than it does being certified. Talking to people, a couple people like my girlfriend, who's smarter and way more wealthy than me, and Sensei Moyer, a guy who's like an older client of mine, who is an interesting dude. He's successful, and he says get certified, because that way when you're promoting yourself, you can say you're certified. I don't know if I'm going to do it, because these certifications are fucking expensive, and I don't know if they're like really legitimate education, because my ego tells me like I'm a life coach now. I could be a life coach in a second, because I feel like Zoomers, millennials, anybody of any age, people like men, like really just a life coach for men, maybe for females in fitness, but I feel like so many like Zoomers, millennials, younger men are just completely fucking lost, mainly because of what I've been talking about, like a lack of mentorship. So, I love like, training people has always been like mentoring people, because we develop very close connections. So I'm thinking about learning how to become a life coach and doing it online. Electric Rider says you could probably take an online notification course. Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be online for sure. I don't think I have to go anywhere. Sensei Moyer, who's kind of got high-end taste, he's like, go to the Tony Robbins certification course. I can't even imagine how much that costs, but I guess the cool thing is everybody knows who Tony Robbins is. Am I a huge fan of Tony Robbins? Not necessarily, but people that I respect, like Sensei Moyer and my younger brother, who's a lawyer. He's a big fan of him. And, it's hard for me to like look outside of myself for knowledge or motivation. Of course, I use the internet. I read the internet like everybody else, but I don't know. I feel like I'm a personal coach now. You know, like I can help people now. I'm always helping people, especially younger dudes. Younger guys are just in relationships, in fitness. I don't want to say in career, because like, who am I? It depends how you look at success. I'm successful in my career because I love what I'm doing. You know what they say, like, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I think 70% of the American population doesn't like their job. But I created my life around the idea where I'd rather be broke and enjoy what I'm doing than rich and hate what I'm doing. But as I'm older, I'm realizing probably could have been both. You know, you could have enjoyed what you're doing and be rich. But, you know, it's a belief system. But to me, it's like I always pursue jobs that are hobbies. You know, I graduated college with an accounting degree. I didn't work one day as an accountant. I worked a couple of years at Enterprise Rent-A-Car after college. But then I could, not even a couple of years, a year. Then I started playing poker for a living when I was 24. You know, then I started teaching yoga for a living. Then I started selling weed for a living. You know, then I started basically riding scooters for a living. So like, I was a martial arts instructor for a living. But all these jobs, you notice, they're like hobbies. So every day I go out there on the scooter, I'm like, man, this is fun. This is still fun. You know, people go to group rides just to ride as their fun. I get to do it as much as I want and get paid for it and make these fucking stupid YouTube videos where I get to talk, and they're not stupid, but sometimes I feel they are. What's up, JPL Rides? How you doing? He says, teach online scooter maintenance. That's not a bad idea, and that could be like in a part of like anything I could teach online, but I'm actually not an expert at that. That's the problem. Like, I can't do electrical stuff. And I did toy with the idea of just doing in-person, like, brakes and tires for people. But it's a weird thing where I don't feel good enough at it, where, like, I feel like if I work on your brakes or your tires and you go out on your vehicle and something happens, like, it's my fault. Like, I know mechanics that are very, very good at it. My buddy Ryan, like, basically a genius mechanic. So I go to him if I need help. I do my own tires and brakes. It's a miracle. I finally learned how to bleed lines, too. But I don't know if it's not much enough of a market. That's the thing. And it might be easy to think that my YouTube channel is only about scooters, so you got to do scooter stuff. But to me, my channel is about 25 to 50-year-old males. I mean, that's just the demographic. Tell me, how old are you guys real quick? I'm signing off soon. I got to get ready for this concert. We got 4 minutes. Please put your age in the comments. Even if you never commented before, let me see at least one new name on here. What's up, Captain Bufo Alvarius? How you doing? My goal is to be a pro poker and blackjack player. I can mentor you in that, you know, because gambling, there's many pitfalls in gambling. And if you're going to be obviously a pro poker player, it's not necessarily doable. And it's, you know, the online scene is very difficult. Hopefully you're outside the United States. You can play on GG or decent sites. But, yeah, keep putting the ages in there, guys. I see it. I want to verify 25 to 50. Put your age in there, Don. But anyhow, fuck, I got fucking stoned. You can be a professional blackjack player too, but you have to really know what you're doing. I've watched a lot of these like card counting videos on YouTube, and it's super impressive. Like, believe me, I tried to learn how to. When I was a poker player, I tried to learn how to count, but I realized like I'm comfortable with the idea of like, yeah, I have limitations. Either I couldn't study enough, or I have like a block where card counting was hard for me. You know, like I have like a scattered brain. Poker is for some reason, I can remember a hand that I played with you 30 fucking years ago. But card counting, where you got to sit there in the moment and watch the cards come off and count them. I think most counters are really successful now in teams more than not. But I do follow some individual players. But if you want to really be a pro blackjack player, you have to travel. You can't just do it where you live. You could probably make maybe small amounts regularly in Vegas, or Atlantic City, but you'd have to really keep it small and change the casinos a lot and find casinos that have favorable rules for you, right? But being a poker player, like, I haven't played for a million years, but the lessons, I wish if I knew then what I know now playing poker, I'd probably still be a professional poker player. What happened to me is I was making a lot of money online, and I even knew at the time that I'm making a ton of money, and I would say this is in like 2003 to 2011, a long period of time. I lost the first couple of years, but then probably 2005 to 2011, like I had 6 years, I never lost a single month. That's because when you're mass multi-tabling, like you get through the bad streaks quicker. And I was a specialist. I played $16 sit and goes. I used to play 24 at a time. But anyhow, point being is, and I also played cash games. Remember at one point I went from 50 NL to 100 NL. I was beating 100 NL, like very, but it doesn't sound like a lot, $100 buy-in game, but I was playing 24 tables at a time. $2,400 was on the line at any given time, but only $100 at a hit. But anyhow, I got cocky and started playing NL 200, and I just went broke. I lost like 60, 70 grand playing NL 200, not knowing, like, it's weird. Like, it's happened to me during trading too. Like when you're down, like you need to pull away and start to reduce your, Chip Reese always talked about the best poker players lose the least. Like, you're going to have losing streaks. And I had like losing streaks. This happened to me twice in my poker career. That's why I feel like I could teach a guy about this. Like when I played 7-card stud for a living, I went like 2.5 years winning like 70% of sessions, which is actually high. You're really not going to win more than 55. Then I had a couple years where, not really a couple years, probably a year, where I felt like I just couldn't win. Lost my entire bankroll. But it's during those times you can step back in stakes. I never would have done that back then. It's like an addiction. It's like a drug. When you play a certain stake in poker, certain level, certain buy-in, it's like a death sentence to step backwards. But as a coach, I just really insist that anybody, there's no rush. If you're playing poker for a living, first of all, you should have a bankroll that you're living off of separate from your gambling bankroll anyhow. Assuming you have that, take a step back, play lower stakes until you're winning again, get your confidence back, and get back into the game. You're at the movie theater right now, Chexologist. Have fun. I just saw Sinners. What was it called? Sinners? Sinners was really good. All right, let's go. Well, you guys really hit me up at the age. I appreciate it. Chexologist, and my guess was 25 to 50 demo. Chexologist, 27 years old. Sleck, 23. Don Scott, probably older than 50. Randall Gauss, I actually thought you were younger, 48. Jambi, 48. Big Boys PEV, 42. Don Scott's now telling me 70. I like to hear that. Stony 420, 36. Captain Bufo Alvaria, 60. Ozzy Jackass, 46. Mr. Spooglesport, 28. And that's it. Perfect. So that is 25 to 50 demographic. Like, seriously, right? None of you are below 25 except for Sleck. And 2 of you are above 50. But that is definitely the 25 to 50-year-old demographic. So I feel like that's probably my demographic for being a life coach for. I guess a life coach, I don't know. I just kind of felt like it was like a cringy thing. But I know I'm not going to call out anybody's names, but I'm talking to a young guy, Zoomer, in his 20s. His girlfriend cheated on him in a very bad way. And it's easy to think, oh, you're a dude. Guys get over breakups easily, but we don't, depending on the guy. And, I like giving advice to somebody like this, because when you're my age, you've been cheated on before badly. And, you'll get through it. And you know that it's actually just extremely important to start dating again. Like a couple months by yourself, fine, but you can't not date, because young men or even women, I'm sure, get damaged psychologically early from their dating, and then decide to like, I'm gonna give up on this. That's the way I was when I was really young. I was like a super late bloomer. I gave up on chasing girls from like 25 to 35, and then I think if you're just a good person, you're living right, you'll meet somebody. And in my mid-30s, I started meeting women, and dating and being like a regular guy in the scene. Very happy to be in like a super phenomenal relationship right now. But I just feel like guys, they're following content creators who are borderline like angry incels who want to tell you that all women are this. I mean, this is like a common thing. All fill-in-the-blank religion or race are this. And I think that is like the biggest short sight of anybody. This is what makes you dumb. If you think all women are one way, you're crazy. And I will not address women, but women who say all men are one way, you can imagine how I feel. Electric Rider, you're 58. Very cool. Thank you. Brett L. Is that Brett L or Brett I? It's hard for me to tell. 33. Yeah, I'm telling you, my demo is just 25 to 50. And it's all dudes, right? Which is fine by me. All right, guys, listen. I got to go to this concert. Did we do an hour? Yeah, we did an hour. I always promise Voro an hour. Electrify Expo tickets, Yoga Dude 9, YOGADUDE, the number 9 at Gmail. Write me there. That's right, Electric Rider. All people are different. Celebrate the differences. What happened to that? So write me there if you want tickets to this thing. They're like $20 plus, maybe $22 if you have to pay for them. So they're no big deal if you end up having to pay. But I'm gonna be there. I'm going this year. I'm definitely fucking going this year. Now, once I got it confirmed with my girlfriend, she's rock solid. She says we're going. But we're going to only go for a couple hours because she's got a concert to go to that night. And I don't like to go. When I went to like Rider Fest, I was out of there in 2 hours. I don't like to go for that long to these things. I got other shit to do. All right, guys, I appreciate your support. LA Courier says celebrate the differences and be kind to one another. You know, I appreciate you, Eddie. Captain Bufo, good to see you. You want to go to some haunted spots in the Hollywood Hills? Are you asking me? Or are you saying for the channel? Maybe. All right, guys. I got shit to do tonight. I appreciate your support. I will see you all next time, okay? I'll try to get some DoorDash streams going this week.